Hello my friends and welcome to News of the Week. Micheál Martin, the Irish Taoiseach, visited the White House for St. Patrick's Day. About 20% of the Irish electorate, Sinn Féin voters, probably wanted Micheál Martin to stroll in wearing one of those keffiyehs, tell Trump his pronouns and berate him about Ukraine, all the while taking a knee for BLM. About 2% of the Irish electorate, the right-wing types who loot Foot Locker after one of Dublin's bi-weekly stabbing sprees, probably wanted Trump to rock in his entourage, just all 10 of the Burks, and give Micheál Martin a bollocking about religious liberty and freedom of speech. The fact that both of those groups are currently pissed off on Twitter is undoubtedly a good sign. I think most people were bricking it because Ireland has shit-talked Trump for years, non-stop, all the while relying heavily on American corporations relocating here for tax receipts. So there's a fear in the Irish psyche of Uncle Sam sending us back to the days of drinking poitín, eating porridge 3 times a day and shitting in fields. You know, or that Trump could spontaneously just announce that he wants to and needs to test nuclear weapons on the Aran Islands or something mad like that. or just announcing that actually the Aran Islands is geopolitically strategic for Palestinian relocation and it's got to be renamed to the Arab Islands, you know. Remarkably, none of these things happened and Micheál Martin absolutely smashed it. You know, from the very start, he's greeted warmly by Trump. Trump goes, you know, you can imagine him privately practicing the pronunciation of Micheál in the mirror prior. And also there was none of the handshake power games that we've become accustomed to. Also, JD Vance, aka JD Meanie Pants.
Do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
You know, shows Micheál Martin his shamrock socks and talks about the trip to Ireland him and his wife took. And
what's with these socks?
It's in honor of the Taoiseach.
I'm trying to stay.
And you're kind of going, why the hell are they being so nice to us? Because America's been on a warpath recently. They're tired of being criticised all the while being the protectors of the Western world. And so they're just going, you know what, actually, we'll have Greenland. You know what, actually, Canada, if you want a protection, just become a state. So you kind of expected them to be sick of the Irish whingers. Incredibly, it seems that it still resonates in their hearts that their great-granny's adopted sister's friend once kissed a Blarney Stone. There's footage of Micheál Martin in the midst of sort of some kind of lunch, and he's been surrounded. He seems like the most popular guy in the room. Another reason is probably that America just has bigger fish to fry in terms of Mexico and Canada and China and the EU. So although Ireland has this massive trade surplus, we're basically just that lucky kid in the class who forgot his tie the same day another kid shoots up the school. You know what I mean? The press conference was great. Micheál Martin has the diplomatic performance of his career. He basically has to perform a balancing act that wouldn't be out of place if you saw it in Cirque du Soleil. He has to come off as likeable in what is the very macho world of American politics currently, all the while not alienating too much the world he's going home to, which is the very mammy-ish world of Irish politics where runts and students reign supreme.
Ireland is known for very happy, fun-loving people, great attitude, many in this room right now that I've met. Why in the world would you let Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I think she's going to lower your happiness level.
That's true. Thank you. I like that question. Do you know you have Rosie O'Donnell? Do you know who she is? Do you know who she is?
Yeah. I'm joking.
You're better off not knowing.
He gets away with it without having to answer. Can you imagine if Mary Lou McDonald was asked that question? In Ireland, if you basically admit to not liking any woman, you're immediately basically Harvey Weinstein level evil. Mary Lou McDonald would have dropped a diplomatic nuclear bomb and Google would be packing their bags as we speak.
Ireland is in the midst of a housing crisis now, and I know you've a lot of experience as a businessman. How can the state build tens of thousands of houses?
You know why they have a housing crisis? Because they're doing so well. They can't produce houses fast enough. That's a good problem, not a bad problem.
That's a pretty good answer, President.
Congratulations. No, it's true.
It's kind of true. You know, if the cost of living is too high for you, why don't you move to bleeding Calabria? It's a region in Italy. The Italian government are paying anybody who's willing to move there 30 grand cash. You want to know why? Because it's shit in Calabria. There's nothing there. Or if the gaffs are too expensive for you in Ranelagh, why don't you just move to Rwanda? They sound the same and you can buy a gaff there for 8 grand. Just make sure to invest in earbuds as well, because the civil war might keep you up at night. People are having a field day about this at home. Like, how dare he laugh at the housing crisis? I was like, guys, chill out. Like, it was a lighthearted moment. What did you want him to do? Get everybody to stop laughing and erupt into some sort of poignant Sean-Ó song os Gaeilge about Irish immigration? Like, give us a break. This is the shining moment of the press conference. It's easy to be likeable, but it's hard to be sometimes likeable and firm against a guy like Donald Trump and get away with it.
It's a two-way street too, and we are investing a lot more in America now. And people may not realise, but Ryanair, one of our biggest airlines, for example, AirCap, they buy more, the two of them together buy more Boeing airplanes than anybody else outside of America. Great. So, and there's a lot of Irish companies here now, about 700 and odd Irish companies based in America, a lot of them creating thousands of jobs in America. And it's only fair. I mean, that's correct.
That's right.
That's the way it should happen. And I think it's a very good relationship we have. I understand where you're coming from fully. But I think it's a relationship that we can develop and that will endure into the future. And will change, it will adapt, and you're evolving and you're doing things.
And they've done a very good job.
So yeah, I mean, that's it really. Micheál Martin, the son of a bus driver, completely rose to the occasion. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching News of the Week. I'll see you soon.